Hi everyone, and welcome to the second lecture of Basic Concepts, whereby we are discussing what are the basic concepts for your income tax chapter or income tax study material. So, by far in the previous class, we first understood how the exam pattern would be, basically what the new study material offers. Then we actually started a new chapter, which is Basic Concepts, whereby we learned to study tax, what we all have to study, what all types of materials we have to refer in our practical life, be it your income tax act, be it income tax rules, be it circulars and notifications, be it legal cases, and obviously the amendments which come every time in the finance act. Along with that, we started to understand the definitions of different types which will be different types which will be using day in and day out, be it SSE, be it assessment, be it category of person, and person may we studied each category in detail. Who's an individual? What is an HF? What is a company? Company may we understood the definition of domestic company, Indian company, and foreign company. Then we moved forward to understand your AOP, BOI, local authorities, firms, and artificial juridical person. Along with that, I gave in homework to study about what actually is income, but it's just a read which you can give because usme income only you would be able to understand when you will be moving forward. That being said, a lot of concepts of basic concept chapter would be more clear, would be more defined when you will be studying the respective chapters coming ahead. The basic concept is once a chapter which is a starting point also and which is a referring point also to come back to whenever you study a particular chapter. So if you have any queries before we start today's class, I'll be very happy to take. Very good morning to all the dear students who have joined in. Today with previous year assessment and definition, and I would request everyone to please be ready with their calculators. Just 1 second and we'll start. If you have any questions, please drop it. Today would be fun because we'll be learning how to compute the tax rates. Ramdev, it's blue color. Mamta, we haven't done that. Ritika says, now what is co-legatees, co-donees, co-hires? Please explain. See, whenever co-words used, that means two or more people are sharing it. Co-hires mean if someone is, two people are getting, say there is son, the two sons, they are getting after the death of their father something in the legacy or the intestate of that is called inheritance, that is called co-hires. Co-donees means when two people or more are receiving the donation, that is co-donee. Co-legatees, I am not able to understand where is this word written on. Sarvana, we'll do those questions today. Okay. Charitra asked that what do you mean by deemed to be an assessee? See, deemed to be assessee is a concept whereby you'll be understanding. Let me give you an example. Okay. Assessee matlab anyone who has to pay tax or anyone who is liable under the proceedings which is going under the act. Okay. Can he उसे tax देना या कोई भी amount which is payable by him, or he is liable to any proceedings for his income, for his losses, for any refund which he has claimed, right? But deemed to be assessee मतलब वो assessee नहीं है prima facie for that particular income, but for that particular tax liability, but he would be deemed to be assessee. He would be assumed to be an assessee. अब ये कैसे होता है? For example, non-residents who are sitting outside India, they have their representative assessee, as in an agent who takes care of all the returns and all the proceedings, who has that power of attorney. So he would be deemed to be an assessee in that case. Okay. So Niharika says, do we need to remember the definitions by heart? See, first remember the concept and the main points of the definition. As in, if I'm talking you about what is particularly assessee, so you should know the main point: who has any tax payability or who has any amount payable by him, who has any proceedings going on him. Then at least if in the worst case scenarios you don't remember the exact definition, at least you can form it and make it legally correct. Secondly, very rarely definitions are asked in the exam, but if they are asked, they would be like, assessee, what agricultural income will come, something in relation to that would be asked. Rather, reference to the definitions would be used, which in that case, you can say, as per the provisions of so and so, and assessee means so and so. Okay. Then a trust without registration in trust can be considered as AOP. A trust is always an AOP because Kirthana, because it is not falling under the category of firm. It is not falling under the category of company. It is not falling under the category of HUF definitely. So it is always a AOP only. If it gets registered, it's an incorporated AOP because AOP has a concept whether incorporated as it whether registered or not. So even if it is registered, still it will be a AOP. If it's not registered, still it would be an AOP. Swati says, please explain AOP and BOI. So AOP and BOI is a concept coming from the definition of person. Who is a person? Person मतलब इनकम टैक्स में कौन कौन सेपरेट टैक्सेबल एंटिटीज होंगे? Who would be the separate taxable entities? Now, there is company which is formed under the Companies Act. There is firm which is formed and which is registered under the Indian Partnership Act. What about any two, three people coming together and doing a business and they say we are not forming a firm. ये firm तो है नहीं, हमने partnership firm में register ही नहीं कराया. Or this is not even a company because we have not been incorporated as per the Companies Act. So in that case, when two or more people are coming together, voluntary to do a particular adventure, I would say not specifically business. Adventure in the sense it would include business or any task or any joint venture. And they may have a common interest of sharing profits or not, or they may have a defined profit sharing ratio or not. It does not matter. So when people come together to do a particular task or do particular adventure, and they are not registered under any particular act of partnership or companies, we call them as AOP because एक common blanket name देना जरूरी है. So उसको income tax has said association of persons. Okay. So association of person, matlab association as in when people are coming together for some joint venture. So, or for some adventure. So that is called association of person. Agar सिर्फ different persons are, it would be AOP. If only individuals are coming, it would be a BOR. Yes, you can use calculator in exams. Section 8 company, वहां पर company में आएगा ना? Next, आप HUF समझने के लिए just stick to what I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you the other day, but वैसे there are two schools as in this is HUF is not a product of Income Tax Act. It is a concept which is coming from the Hindu Succession Act. So वहां पे Hindu Succession Act and since we are talking about Hindus and it relates to an era which and an understanding which is age old now. People with different thoughts were there. Some and since it has Jainism, since it has Sikhism, Buddhism also. So to cater different thoughts, there were two majority different schools. Schools matlab not any school where we go as a gurukul. School matlab thought process, different thought process. So it was divided into that part. I will come to that, Vaibhav. Sarvana, don't worry, such question would not be asked. No, Hardik, nothing like that. You can follow whatever you want to follow. Sure, Abhirami. So government, Rahul, has a power to law on tax. Central government has a power to make law on tax. So they will be making law on tax, and then they obviously, when they have a power to make the law, they have a power to define the structure, etc. The power is given as per the constitution. Okay, Vandana, you would be able to understand it from the PAN number, don't worry. Correct, Ramchandra. Whatever amendments are made in the Finance Act, or I should say through the Finance Act, every year, it means that now the Income Tax Act starts amended. Okay. So, in case I have missed some of the questions, you may ask it again. So this is such a dilemma. एक कहता है, someone says me, ma'am, please switch to English. All the SRO students. Then someone from the CRO says, ma'am, please speak in Hindi. So I would strictly try to speak in English. But that being said, if someone is requesting for some summary or some question, I might answer that in Hindi. But immediately I would give an English translation to it. Okay. Everyone is tax Meenakshi, even if they are registered or not. Hemant, we have not finished the chapter, so please wait. We'll definitely do all things. No, not at all. You don't have to remember the definition of income. This income has 22 points, so we have to remember all for definition. No, it's just a read you should do right now. You will slowly understand why these definitions are there, how they are able to relate it. Do not worry. First, second class में कैसे आ जाएगा when even final students don't relate it to. Okay? Chalo. So now start to topics previous year and assessment year. Now this should have been concluded in the last class, but no problem. Now these two concepts, before we proceed to that, we should understand एक term होता है FY, financial year, or many people say it in fancy English as fiscal year. इसका क्या मतलब होता है? These are same, financial year or fiscal year. So every country has a 12-month set 12-month period in which they produce or in which they do the reporting of the books of accounts. It's very important to break the income generation period or the finance period into 12 months, or into, I'll not say calendar months, into 12 months period, so that there could be a division into an ongoing concept of earning and income and finances, and a data could be produced which could be comparable. So it's very important for any country, I'm not just saying India, to start a particular financial year and to end a particular financial year and to restrict its reporting requirements in that financial year, be it setting goals, be it achieving goals, be it giving the budget, be it obviously generation of income and then reporting of income. Everything is happening in that particular year. So that year is called the financial year or fiscal year. Every country has different year. Dubai, if I say, has a calendar year as a financial year. So India has a financial year from April to March every year. Then I think US has it from July to June or June to May. I'm not sure. But most of the countries have calendar year. Most of the countries have different type of year which refers to or suits whatever their constitution or their time has set on. Okay, so it's not that कि सारी जगह fiscal year same होगा और financial year same होगा, but the meaning of the both the thing is same. Calendar year अगर कहीं लिखा होगा, calendar year का मतलब क्या होता है guys? January to December. So if I say in the calendar year 2023, I mean January to December 23. But if I say fiscal year 23, I mean April 23 to March 23, referring for the India period. Now, what is the concept of previous year and assessment year, ma'am? First of all, previous year and assessment year is a concept coming from Income Tax Act. ये कहीं और नहीं use है. This is coming from Income Tax Act. Now, previous का मतलब हम समझते हैं पिछला, right? As in the preceding one. But here, previous year, whenever in income tax, we refer to the term previous year. We refer to the term previous year is the year in which you earn the income. In which you earn the year, in which you earn the income. That is the period in the financial year in which I'm earning the income. That would be a previous year. So if I'm earning the income in this year, so the previous year is 23-24. But since it is very important for an year to close and then determine the income, then determine the total income. I cannot determine the total income today कि मेरा पूरे साल का income क्या होगा. Only when the March period comes and it ends, then only I would be able to determine and assess the final tax liability, correct? So, earning of the income happens in the previous year, but assessing of the income, of the same income, I should say, happens in the assessment year. Earning happens in the previous year, and this same income is assessed in the assessment year. So, can I say the income earned in the previous year is taxable in the immediately following year, which is called the assessment year. So, whatever I'm be earning in the previous year 23-24, it would be assessed in the year 24-25. So can I say that every previous year will have its assessment year, and assessment year would be the 12-month period. Again, it would start immediately from 1st April and would end on 31st March. But assessment year में कौन सी year का income की बात कर रहे होंगे हम? Previous year की. Previous year की income की. And it's a correlated concept. Every previous year will have its assessment year. So if I talk about previous year 24-25 में what I will earn, it would be assessed in the assessment year 25-26. So when 24-25 would be going on, it would be an assessment year for the income earned in the previous year. And 24-25 would also be a previous year for the income earned in that particular year. So it's not that कि ma'am a previous year 23-24 हो गया and then assessment year 24-25 हो गया. Now next would be previous year 25-26. No, every year is a previous year and assessment year, but you have to see it would be a previous year for the income which you're earning in that year, and that an assessment year would be for the income which has been earned in the previous year. तो इसलिए इस वर्ड को previous इसलिए क्यों कहते हैं? Sorry. Why do we call this term as a previous year? Because assessment year का जो income assess होता है, it is for the immediately preceding year, तो उसको हम term previous year कहते हैं. So when I'm talking about previous year 23-24, or when I'm talking about assessment year 24-25, I am technically talking about the income earned in the same era, which is 23-24. अगर रिटर्न असेसमेंट ईयर 24-25 का जाता है, if you have ever seen any return, or what is return? It's a statement of income which you, through which you tell any department, to which you tell. अब return का मतलब क्या होता है? It's a statement. अब if it's a return of income, that means it's a statement of income. So which you will be telling to the income tax authorities that what is the income which you have earned during the year. So if I'm filing a return for assessment year 24-25, technically I'm giving the details of the income on in the previous year 23-24. So reference is same. So can I conclude a previous year is a financial year in which you're earning the income, and the same income which when assessed, that assessment happens in the assessment year. क्यों? क्योंकि टेक्निकली आप ईयर को खत्म होने का वेट करोगे, देन ओनली यू वुड बी एबल टू असेस दैट इनकम और व्हाट इज द टोटल इनकम व्हिच यू हैव अर्नड ड्यूरिंग द ईयर. सो इनकम इज अर्नड इन द प्रीवियस ईयर, इट इज असेस्ड इन द असेसमेंट ईयर. सो नाउ for any previous year, it will always have its assessment year. So if I say previous year 18-19, तो उसका assessment year क्या हुआ guys? Assessment year 19-20. If I say previous year 19-20, उसका assessment year क्या हुआ? Assessment year 20-21. If I say previous year 23-24, उसका assessment year क्या हुआ? 24-25. That means once the year in which you're earning the income ends, its assessment year would start. Its assessment year would start, matlab, where you have to determine the final tax liability. Is it clear now? So every previous year would have its assessment year. Government would not, in general cases, would not say you anything until and unless you come to the assessment year and finally give your tax liability. Return of income for a previous year would always be filed in the assessment year to tell what are the data in relation to the income. Is the concept of previous year and assessment year clear? So now you will never interchangeably use the term calendar year or fiscal year or previous year. No. You people now from income tax perspective would always say income earned in the previous year. Will not say income earned in the financial year 22-23 or 23-24. Income earned in the previous year or income assessed in the assessment year. Whenever they say income to the relevant assessment year, matlab, they're referring to the assessment year this, but they're referring to the income on in this particular period. Assessment year would always be a 12-month period, guys. Always be a 12-month period starting from April, which is immediately following after the end of the previous year, and would end on March. But previous year can be for a less than 12 months period. A question can come, can a assessment year be less than 12 months period? No, it would always be a 12-month period. But can a previous year be less than 12 months? Yes. If a business is newly started, if a business is newly started, then the previous year would begin from the date when the business has started, because it's all about earning income. So if I start a business today, which is 3rd October 2023, so the previous year, guys, would be 3rd October 2023 to 31st March 2024, but assessment year would remain the same, which is 24-25. So in conclusion, what I said, every previous year has an assessment year. Previous year is the fiscal year in which you're earning the income, and assessment year is the year in which that particular income is assessed and taxed. Now, if the income which you have started earning is from the middle of the year, so the previous year would start from the middle of the year and would end on 31st March 2024, but the assessment year would be complete assessment year 24-25. This is what is given in this particular example also. Sorry. See, there is no choice, Gunjan, if an entity would be following a calendar year. If you're earning income in India or if your income is taxable in India, it would be always as per the previous year and assessment years. No, Gondi, it's not like that. I'll let you know, don't worry. Hari, your question isn't clear. SSC has no option, Priyanka, to change the previous year. एक country जो financial year follow कर रही है, उसी financial year में whatever income is earned, that is said to be the income earned in the previous year. If a business starts on 1st June and ends on 1st October, so yes, those 4 months, 1st June to 1st October, would be the previous year, but the assessment year would be the same, that is 1st of April 2024 to 31st of March 2025. Okay, now we proceed to understand the exception. अभी मैंने आपको क्या समझाया? That what did I explain you right away? That the income earned in the previous year is taxed and assessed in the assessment year. The taxing year and the previous year would never be the same, right? Whatever you're earning in the previous year would be taxed in the assessment year. If I'm referring to, again, and I'm saying, if I'm referring to assessment year 23-24, I am referring to the income earned in the previous year 22-23. If I'm referring to the previous year 23-24, I am referring to an assessment year 24-25. That means whatever is earned in this period would be assessed in this period. For you all people, this particular previous year is applicable and hence this particular assessment year is applicable. Okay, for you people, for your exams. Now, यहाँ तक तो समझ आया. Now there is a twist in the story. अभी तक the general rule is the previous year income is earned, or the previous year is the year in which the income is earned, and assessment year is the year in which the income is assessed. But there are 5-6 scenarios, rather 5 scenarios, where the previous year and the assessment year is same, where the previous year and the assessment year is same. Cases where income of previous year is assessed in the previous year itself. Matlab, whatever I have been earning in the previous year would be assessed, as in would be taxed, computed in the assessment year itself. So इसको कहते हैं previous year and the assessment year being the same. Now, ये exceptions क्या है मैम, and when would these exceptions would be applicable? So there are 5 exceptions to the general rule that the previous year assessment year would be different. Here, previous year and assessment year would be the same. That is, the income or in the previous year would be assessed in the previous itself. What are those 5 exceptions? Shipping businesses of non-resident person leaving India. We'll go one by one. Okay. First, when there is a shipping business of non-resident. What does this mean? So, what happened when you're carrying, listen carefully, there's a non-resident shipping company who has started a cruise from Singapore. Let's say from Singapore. Now it is coming to India by taking all the passengers in it. Singapore से passengers चढ़े and वो India है. अब वो सिंगापुर उतरे, ठीक है. अब वो income technically to some extent is of India because आप freight ले लो India आने के लिए. Shipping company, think yourself as a shipping company. You are taking freight from the passengers to come to India. So technically, some part of the income is of India also. But if the shipping company would come to India, drop the people, and now go back, how would income tax authorities catch hold of them? कि भाई tax दो. How would they do that? वो company non-resident है, it's a company of Singapore. So how would the Indian tax authorities catch hold of them? So for that, for non-resident shipping company, there is one section which tells that if a non-resident shipping company is there and they're coming to India, maybe carrying passengers, maybe carrying goods, anything, coming to India and then they're going back, maybe taking the people back or not, they would be allowed to go back only. They would be allowed to go back only when they pay taxes and file a basic return. एक basic information होता है in a form of return with the authorities. Then only they would be allowed to leave the port of India. ऐसे आप अपनी मर्जी से आके छोड़ के नहीं जा सकते guys. To come to the India port, जैसे airports होते हैं वैसे ship ports होते हैं. You come there, you would be only given clearance once the taxes are paid and once this return of information is filed. So that means whatever that shipping company is earning in that particular period is being paid and assessed in that particular period only. अब वो assessment year आने का तो wait नहीं कर रहे, right? So whatever has been earned by shipping company as an income for that particular cruise tour is paid in India and then only it is allowed to leave. So hence it is an exception of the common rule that previous year and different assessment year would be different. Here, the previous year is same and the taxes are paid in the previous year itself and income is assessed in the previous year itself. Okay. Next is persons leaving India. Next exception to the general rule is person leaving India. It is not any person leaving India. It does not mean that if you're going on a vacation outside India, you have to pay taxes in the same year. No. It refers to specifically it refers to people who come on secondment in India. जैसे आपने बहुत बार देखा होगा, you must have seen a lot of time that people of different countries have come for a project in India, right? That project can be of 6 months, can be of 1 year, can be of 2 years, 3 years, does not matter. But once the project is finished and we know that the person is going back and he may not be coming back to India anytime soon. He's leaving India, अब वो इंडिया से बाहर जा रहा है, वो आएगा या नहीं आएगा, we don't know that, right? So for those people, it is mandatory that they are allowed only to go when they have paid taxes till the date they are in India. Till the date they are in India. So suppose a person is leaving India on 3rd October 2023, anything, bye-bye data. immigration officers can stop him and ask, have you paid taxes for the period of April 23 to October 23, 3rd October 23? He would be saying that, why should I be paying tax right now? Why are you asking for the income return or assessment right now for this? Because abhi to previous year is going on. This income technically has to be assessed in the assessment year 24-25. So the authority would say, no, you're covered under the exception. Here, you have to assess your income in this particular period itself. Then only we'll be allowing you to go. Then only we'll be allowing you to go. And trust me, I have worked in international taxation department and I have seen people being stopped at immigration authorities if they don't have an NOC from the income tax department. NOC obtain karna is extremely important. And NOC kab hota hai? When the NOC is given when the person who's leaving India for good. Leaving India for good means he has no plans to come back anytime soon. Those persons say that we have paid our taxes, we have filed, and so particular person will file the return of income when the time will come. Now give us an NOC. So that is this, because of this exception, that they have to require an NOC. Next is AOP BOI, artificial juridical person formed for a particular event or purpose. Now, this is pretty common. They are not as such operated AOP, BOI, etc. They may or may not have any regulated laws. And I told you these AOP, BOI may not follow going concern concept. Going concern concept means that we will be going on and on till the time it is not possible, right? They may be there for a short purpose. They may be there for a short time purpose or a short venture. Now, if the purpose is fulfilled, it would be very difficult to track them. Once the venture is completed, it would be very difficult to track them because they would be separated out. And then where would the income tax department go and find them? So in that case, if the purpose for which it is being formed is completed, the income tax authority says ki before you dissolve yourself, please give us the taxes. Please give us the taxes. We will not wait for the assessment year to come. Please give us the taxes right away and then you may proceed to dissolve. Next is persons likely to transfer property to avoid tax. Now, suppose there is a person, Mr. X. Who might be selling some property so that he does not have to pay the tax liability, so that he does not have to pay the income tax liability. So, on these people also who are departing from the property to avoid any tax liability, on those people also they can assess the income of the previous year in the previous year itself. Next is the same of discontinued business. This is something like of AOP BOI. Now here, if a person is discontinuing the business, he is stopping the business, government says you wind up all your business, you wind up all the business related setup only once you clear your taxes. Business usko aaj close karna. He wants to close the business today. The government might do not want to wait for another 6 months to first end the previous year and then assessment year to come, right? So government say you want to discontinue the business, please pay the taxes and then you may wind up everything. So in that case also, the government can ask for you to pay the taxes to assess the income in the previous year itself. So what are the 5 rules which are exception to the general rule of previous year and assessment year being different? Or I should say, which is exception to the rule that income of the previous year is assessed in the assessment year. So 5 are, and these are very common. You must have now understood कि हाँ common sense बनता है that government should recover taxes from these people in the previous year itself. One is a non-resident shipping company which is coming to India. It would be allowed to leave only when it pay taxes. Then a person leaving in India, he's leaving India for good. He might not come back anytime soon. So, isliye let's recover all the taxes till the time or on the income which he has earned till the time he was in India. AOP BOI, artificial juridical person, and if they were formed for a particular event or purpose and that event or purpose might end soon, so they just say that pay the taxes right away. Similarly, if a person is transferring a property so that once he has transferred it, no one would might recover any taxes from him. In that case, the previous year is the year in which he has to pay the taxes. Discontinued business, if a person is about to discontinue the business and before wrapping up everything, the government said, let's pay the taxes also. Okay, so these are the five exceptions. Just give it a read. It is there in your module also. Just give it a 1 minute read and then we'll move forward. Yes, Gandhi, there is a cutoff date. So, Nancy, all of these things not only happen by income tax department, it happens in correlation with other authorities also, like airport authority, immigration. They would ask, when are you coming back to India? If or if his visa is expiring. So this is how they get to know. Yes. That being said, maybe 2 out of 100 people escape it also. But otherwise, authorities have complete eye because a clearance lena, even if it's a shipping company, they have to get a clearance also. So there is a complete eye by different authorities. Devendra, I think it is the issue only with you. Just check it once, then only it would be resolved. And it is not same for the airlines. Malvika, very true. A previous year can be for a day also. If a business is started on 30th March, they would not say, "Ki, okay, let's wait, make it in the next to next assessment year." No. A previous year can be of a day also or can be of a 2 day also, but the assessment year would be for full 12 months. You may be liable to tax in any other country, does not matter. For the income which is taxable in India, you have to pay taxes in India or you have to follow the income tax law, whatever it says. If a business has started on 1st March, the previous year would be 1st March, say 2024 to 31st March 2024, but the assessment year would be April 24 to March 24. I hope Devendra, your question is also answered. Deemed matlab assumed, guys. This is not only for Singapore, for all types of non-resident shipping companies. Ashwini, it's not custom duty. Custom duty is under different law. This is your income and incomes related tax. Is it a minimum duration if they keep working for 3 months? See, no, it's not like that. Until it does not work like that. They have to pay taxes for the income which is taxable in India. Abhi, you just understand that. A student is going abroad for further studies depend if he was earning any income and if he has a plan to come in India or not. So Tushar, a previous year is the year in which you earn the income, and the assessment year is the year in which the income which is earned in the previous year is taxed. So Anil, how do you qualify for person is likely to transfer property to avoid tax? So suppose एक person के against there has now be a tax liability of say 500 crores, and we know for some year, say any year, and we know that person might transfer a property so that उस property पे government कब्जा ना कर ले, that government may not confiscate that property to recover taxes. He is not planning to sell that property. So what would government do? They would catch hold of the person first who is selling the property to recover their taxes which are due, and also the taxes which is due on that particular transfer. Madhav, see, agar aap, if you talk from the layman language, previous year and financial year are the same until and unless a previous year is a shorter period. Otherwise, financial year cannot be a shorter period. Okay? NOC means no objection certificate. Yes, Ramchandra, under the Act, wherever the word person is coming, it includes all the persons. I hope, Mukteshwari, your question is answered. And everyone now, I hope the point 4 is also clear. Yes, there is a date for filing the return. Dhire dhire you will get to know. Madhav, can you please tell your query again? A previous year cannot be more than 12 months. Friends, assessing officer को नहीं पता चलेगा. बाकी authorities, immigration authorities get to know the person would be coming back to India or not. They get to know if someone is about to wind up or someone has wound up. It is pretty clear. NOC, no objection certificate from the department that we do not mind that the person is now leaving. He has paid all the taxes or he has made arrangement to pay all the taxes. Girija, these chapter you can download from the BOS knowledge portal. Guys, listen, when you talk about tax, it's not just income tax which is applicable. There are custom duties. There are the custom is what when goods are being brought to India, then the person who has purchased those good would he will pay custom. I'm talking about a shipping company who is coming to India, dropping people and then now going back, or dropping goods and then is going back. Anything. Now उस shipping company का कुछ income होगा which is taxed in India. That some part of the income would be there which is taxable in India. Without giving tax on that income, shipping companies are not allowed to go. They are not given the clearance. And please don't think कि हाँ मैम वो तो निकल जाएगा कौन पकड़ेगा. No, it's not like that. Things don't work like this. No, it is not possible. Previous year cannot be more than 12 months. Gauri, I would not answer that because I haven't taught that. So it would just confuse other people. Yes, this is a very important question which Madhav has asked. Ma'am, you have told that the exception is there, that previous year is the year when income is earned and assessment year is the year when the income is assessed. And it is obviously immediately following the previous year. But ma'am, there are five exceptions which you said very rightly that previous year there would be some cases in which the previous year is the assessment year itself, as in the income earned in the previous year would be assessed in the previous year itself, correct? But ma'am, what about the tax rate? So tax rate, guys, would be applicable for the particular previous year only. Basically, if I'm talking about previous year 23-24, so whatever taxes are applicable in the previous year 23-24, that would be applicable. Okay. Property includes any immovable property or movable property. Tushar, generally on those non-resident companies, 7.5% tax is applicable as per section 172. So now at your level, you should remember these five exceptions. Now this particular question can come as a theory question also, right? What are the exceptions where the previous year and the assessment year is the same? Or what are the exception in which the income earned in the previous year itself is taxed in the previous year itself? A question like that can come, or a study-based question can come also. That suppose Mr. X was leaving India, he was stopped and he was asked to pay taxes up till the date he's leaving India. Is this correct or not? So then you will say, okay, this is covered under the exception. So question both ways can come. Yes, Ramchandra, it may pay taxes in any other country does not matter to us. What is matter कि income जो India में taxable है, whatever is taxable in India, whether they have paid taxes on that or not. Suman, it does not happen like that. If a student is going overseas, it's not that everyone will tax in India. These are specifically for the people who are leaving India for good. मतलब the government does not know anyhow now how would they be tracked. They came for a particular assignment. Now that assignment is over, for those people specifically. Why would business be following the calendar year? You don't have a choice. For you, financial is the financial year, previous year is the financial year in which you're earning the income, and assessment is the assessment year when the previous year, assessment is the year in which the income of the previous year is assessed. It is not voluntary. Okay? Bhavika, yes, you can say a tax on property is spending, or the department can confiscate. Many a time we see ना to recover the taxes, गवर्नमेंट ने सो एंड सो प्रॉपर्टी को कॉन्फिस्टिकेट कर लिया और सो एंड सो प्रॉपर्टी को अपने पास अटैच कर लिया. अटैच का मतलब व्हाट इज अटैचमेंट मीन्स दैट इज नाउ दे विल यूज दिस प्रॉपर्टी टू रिकवर द टैक्सेस. So to avoid that, they can immediately ask the person to pay the taxes in the previous year itself. Sakti, that does not matter whether it would be taxed in any other country or not. What is mattering here is it would be taxed in India. Kanishka, please remind me to answer this question at the end of the class. Okay, now on the screen, everyone, see, guys, I'm saying again and again that more and more, very good. The questions which you people are asking are extremely technical and are coming from a sense of understanding, which is very appreciative. At the same time, I would request you all to not prepare hypothetical scenarios right now because it will hamper your basics and understanding right now. Yes, come back to hypothetical scenarios once you've understood the entire syllabus which is there. Then you ask questions because then you would be able to relate to what a faculty is answering to your doubts. Okay? But the questions which you people are asking are extremely, I am very happy because these types of questions we expect from a final level student, which is very good. And if you have studied income tax thoda thoda and you're not revising, please stick your queries to the topic which is being taught. Okay. So now we are understanding a thing which is called computation of income. Government को कैसे पता चलेगा what have you done? What have you earned? It is through return of income. कहीं पे भी word return guys लिखा होगा, if anywhere the word return is written, it does not mean give it back. Return means a statement. So if it's a GST return, that means it's a GST statement. If it's a TDS return, it's a TDS statement. If it's a return of income, that means you're giving a statement of income. How will government know that how you have computed your taxes? It would only be through this statement they would get to know. This statement is filed in the assessment year relating to the income earned in the previous year. So for previous year 23-24, I will file the return of income in the assessment year 24-25. Okay. But return of income में क्या जाएगा? Computation of income. Computation means calculation, that how did you come on computing the income. Now, if everyone compute the income as per their procedure, as per their standard, as per their knowledge, there would be no consistency. The data would be very difficult for the government to understand, correlate. So there is a standard format on how you have to compute the income. Compute the matlab, calculate the income. What is that standard understanding? See, first step in computation of income is previous year का income compute होगा, correct? First step is to identify the previous year. Second step is to identify the residential status. What did I say? Residential status. The income tax, rather in any other country also, but in India, the income tax and its charge is defined as per the is defined or is restricted as per the residential status of a person. Now, why? One second. Why residential status is important to determine? Because it will tell you whether the person is a resident in India or not, whether the person is the person who's using the resources of India or not. If he is using the resources of India or not, he is a resident. And then if he's using it, he's a resident, then he has to pay more taxes. If he's not using it, then he has to pay taxes only on the income which is earned in India. So residential status determines what income would be taxed in India. And it is very important. You will classify yourself as resident or non-resident. Now, whatever I'm writing, students, are your coming chapters, are your coming chapters for the entire syllabus. So after the basic concepts, you will understand what is residential status. So once you understand the residential status, you will identify what is the scope of income. Matlab, what all income would be taxed in India. Once you know what all income would be taxed in India, now you have to calculate, bifurcate and calculate the income under different heads. Now, what is heads of income, ma'am? Heads of income, guys, are 5 different classification of income, which is standard for all. That classification is salaries, income from salaries, income from house property, income from business or profession, profits and gains of business or profession, income from capital gain, and income from other sources. Matlab, no matter whatever you're earning and how you're earning, for everyone in India, there are five heads of income, five different groups of income, as in any income of what, or there would be no income which you're earning cannot be classified in these five heads. Any income which you're earning would be classified in either of the five head, and one income is taxed in one particular head only. It is not taxed in different heads twice. It would be taxed in one head. Now, what are those five heads? Income from salaries. When you're earning income from an employer-employee relationship, master-servant relationship, that is called salaries income. That is called salary income. When you're working in a job and you're earning income, that is called salary income. What is income from house property? House property income is an income which you're earning when you have a property. When you have a immovable property, a structured property, that is called income from house property. Business and profession income, that means when you're performing any business activity or any professional activity, whatever income, whatever profits are derived from it is your business profits. Then capital gain. Capital gain matlab profit or loss, right? Capital assets को sell करके whatever gain is coming, that is called capital gain. Other sources means any head, any particular income which cannot be classified in the first four heads would be classified in the other sources head. It's a residuary head. It's a residuary head of income. It can happen for you, a particular type of income can be a business income. The same income for me can be in other sources income. Why so? Because of the regularity of income. As in, आप जो काम daily करते हो as a daily activity, it can be a business activity. But if it's a one-time income for me, it's an other sources income from me or a capital gain income for me. But for everyone, income is only. So the total income would be the sum of the income earned in these five heads. You have to compute the income under these five heads. ऐसा नहीं है, whatever is your earning would be the income. There are different computation methods for different types of income. Along with that, if you will hear this word a lot, including income of other person for which the assessee is assessable or assessee is liable. मतलब किसी और का इनकम भी जो मेरे इनकम का पार्ट होना चाहिए. Any other person's income also, which is part of my income, that is called other person's income. That is called other person's income. Like minor. I have a minor child. He's earning income, so he would not pay tax. It could be part of my income. So that is called income from other person as assessee's income. Okay. इसको भी commonly called as clubbing provisions. Plus any losses which are set off of the previous year, all of this together would form my total income, would form my total income. Now, on this total income, there are certain deductions which are allowed. Deductions as in certain tax saving methods which are eligibly allowed, which reduces your income, This you would be studying from section 80C to 80U in your chapters of deductions from gross total income. इसको हम कहेंगे gross total income. Once the deduction happens, it is the net total income which has come. Now, on this net total income, we will compute the tax liability. Now, how you will compute the tax liability depends upon what is your residential status, what are the category of person you are, whether you're a company, whether you're a firm, whether you're an individual, and what is the composition of your income. On that, the tax liability is computed. So from here onwards, your journey to the next chapter starts. And this is how your chapters are also: residential status, scope of income, different heads of income. Once the different heads of income is covered, clubbing and set of provisions. Then you will come to gross total income and then deductions from gross total income and then computation of tax liability. This is how the incomes are computed. And it is for everyone, not just you, not just me, but for everyone. Obviously, firms and companies would not have income from salaries because they are not an employee anywhere. They cannot be an employee anywhere. Salary income would be only for individuals. Okay. You will compute the tax liability. Now, once the tax liability is computed, late all details goes in return of income. Return of income, you will tell what about your residential status, you will tell about your heads of income under different your types, whatever income you have earned under different heads of income. You will do all the clubbing, you will tell them about the reductions, you will tell them how you have computed the tax liability. This is what goes under the return of income. Now listen carefully, then I will take all your doubt. How does one compute the tax liability? Specifically from this year, that is from the previous year, 23-24. The tax rates are different for each year. So you have to be very, very careful on referring to which previous year you are referring to. Okay. So now for the previous year 23-24, the or from previous year 23-24, there are some very important changes which have been made. One is the old scheme of computing tax. One is the old scheme of computing tax, that is age-old method since 1961. It is going on. Yes, the tax rates in it are different, are varying year on year, but there's an old scheme, or some say normal provisions of computing tax. Okay. Hmm. Now, couple of year back, a new scheme was introduced. This was introduced under Section 115 BAC. A new scheme of computing the tax was introduced under Section 115 BAC. Now, old scheme के टैक्स कैसे पता चलता है? Through Finance Act. Finance Act में schedule में there are 4 parts. One part tell you what would be the tax rate for the current financial year. That is when the budget is produced. What would be the tax rates for TDS? What would be the tax rates for the coming financial year, which is part 3, which tells you about that. Upcoming previous year rather. So which you have to refer to the upcoming previous year. Budget agar if budget comes under for 22 for 23 budget, it is represented on 1st Feb 23. So in the budget or the finance bill mein, in the schedule, part 1 would tell me about the tax rates applicable for the period 22-23, for the previous year 22-23. That is when the budget is pronounced. What is the financial year going on? Uske tax rate. And part 3 would tell me about the tax rates which would be applicable for the next previous year. That is 23-24. Okay, so isse I will determine what are the tax rates applicable to me, and that is as per the old scheme versus the new scheme, which is under Section 115 BAC. पहले क्या होता था? Old scheme was a scheme which is there for everyone, and 115 BAC was a choice. As in, it is a choice on the assessee whether he has to go as per the old scheme or whether he has to go as per the new scheme. Any person would go on that particular scheme where the taxes are the least, where the taxes are the least. But from previous year 23-24, 115 BAC is a mandatory section, as in a default regime. That is, if you will not make a choice, then the taxes would be applicable by this. Now you have to make a choice whether you have to take the old scheme or not. Earlier, it was a choice whether you have to take the new scheme or not. But now onwards, now this year onwards, it's a choice whether you have to take an old scheme or not. If you will not make a choice, by default, 115 BAC would be applicable. By default, 115 BAC would be applicable. So now you have to write the assessee has chosen old scheme. The assessee has chosen old scheme because by default these rates would now be applicable. Now this is specifically only for individuals, HUF, AOP and BOIs. Companies and firm के लिए different tax rates है. Okay, this is only for individual, HUF, AOP and BOIs. Now, after the break, we will be starting from the taxes which are there in both the old scheme and new scheme. And we will go on to understand the surcharge and cess. So, we will be practically focusing on individual HUF, AOP, BOI. And we'll be trying to cover the surcharge and particularly the taxes for both the old scheme and the new scheme. So, please be right back after a break with your calculators because we will now be starting upon computing the tax liability. But before that, let me take some questions. Gross total income is the sum of income from different heads of income. Clubbing matlab, guys, Girja, I just told you, it's when some other person income is included in my income, like for a minor. Rent is a income from house property. What if the return is not filed? They will escape taxes. Yes, you can say if return is filed means that you have computed your income and you have paid taxes on it. So if you're not filing the return, government will think that something is fishy and then they will send you notice. Yes, Sushal, you can choose the scheme every year. I will tell you more about this. Don't worry. Yes, for the assessment year 24-25, the tax rate for the previous year 23-24 or the assessment year 24-25 would be applicable. Income tax is payable on the income, and when it is income from business, I mean profits of business. Okay. Okay. So let's meet after the break. Thank you. So welcome back after the break, everyone. Now we'll be proceeding to understand the different types of the tax, which can, not different types, I should say, the different scheme of taxation and how do we have to compute. So first, I had left you with the understanding of the new scheme and the old scheme. New scheme is the scheme which is applicable by default, and this is by default thing has come from previous year 23-24. That is, if you will not choose to opt out matlab to opt out and choose old scheme, new scheme would be applicable to you. The tax rates under new schemes are very attractive versus the tax rates under the old scheme. But it's not just that. You have to understand what new scheme offers and what old schemes offer, and then make a wise choice whether to go for new scheme or whether to go for old scheme. One second. So first, we will be studying the new scheme or the old scheme. I'll tell you. Just one second. I think there are some doubts. Gaurav, I will. Yes, we can say net total income is the taxable income. Divya, I did not understand your question. See, if the budget is coming on 1st February 23, it would definitely be containing the provisions for the upcoming financial year, because budget is not just restricted to income tax, it is there for every part and it is there for the country as a whole. So it is basically for the financial year. Usme se the Income Tax Act applicable or income tax related provisions would be applicable for the upcoming previous year, that is the previous year 23-24. Okay, because it's a budget, it's a prospective thing, that is, it is for the future, not for the ongoing financial year. Okay, Harsh? Gross total income is a total of incomes from different heads. It is not the taxable income. The taxable income would be the income which is coming after the deductions. Yes, I will tell about the new scheme and old scheme. I have not finished it yet. Now, please focus on the screen and we will do everything one by one. Again, I am telling you for individuals, HUF, AOP, and BOI. Everyone, please focus on the screen here. There are two types of options through which you can pay the tax. There are two types of options for which you can pay the tax for the year. One is the new scheme, which is new. Why? Because it was introduced a couple of years back. And one is the old scheme, which is the old thing which is going on since inception. Yes, the rates changes as per the budget, but old scheme are normal provisions. And one is the new scheme. New scheme has attractive tax rates, but it has some drawbacks also versus the old scheme. Since in its inception, people were not opting for new scheme. Hence, the government made the new scheme the default regime. Matlab, if you will not choose the old scheme or if you will not opt out from the new scheme, If you will not do that, then by default, the new scheme would be applicable. So now let's study what are the tax rates in the new scheme. And Abhi, we are only doing for individual HUF, AOP and BOI. I hope the Excel sheet is visible. Okay. So now, guys, on the screen, please. कोई भी इधर उधर नहीं, जिसको आता है वो भी और जिसको नहीं आता, those who know also and those who don't know also, please focus only for individual HUF, AOP and BOI. First we are studying the new scheme 115 BAC. What does it say? So the new scheme, guys, have a slab rates for individuals HUF, AOP, BOI and artificial juridical person. The income tax is applicable as per the slab rates. Now, what are the slab rates? Slab rates means more the income, more the tax. If you have less income, the taxes would be less. The rate applicable to you would be less. If you have higher income, the rate applicable to you would be more. So, from the perspective of slab rates, your entire taxable income is divided into slabs. So what are the slabs? The slabs are 0 to 3 lakh, there would be no tax. 3 lakh 1 to 6 lakhs, that is on the next 3 lakhs, there would be 5%. 6 lakh 1 to 9 lakh, the tax rate would be 10%. 9 lakh to 12 lakh, the tax rate would be 15%. 12 lakh to 15 lakh, the tax rate would be 20%. And 15 lakh, which would be का मतलब है your entire income would be divided into slabs. So suppose you have an income of 20 lakhs. So on the first 3 lakh, there would be no taxes. On the next 3 lakh, that is from the period 3 lakh to 6 lakhs. On the first 3 lakhs, ये पूरा 20 lakh का आपका income है, okay? On the first 3 lakh, there would be no taxes. Then 3 lakh to 6 lakhs, there would be tax of 5%. Then 6 lakhs to 9 lakh, for the next 3 lakhs, there would be the tax of 10%. For 9 lakh to 12 lakh, that is the tax would be there for 15%. From 12 lakh to 15 lakhs, the taxes would be there at 20%. And 15 above, the taxes would be there at 30%. So it is not that if your income is 20 lakhs and आपने देखा you're 15 lakh above, तो सीधा 20 lakhs पे 30% लगाओगे. This would not be the case. It's not that you have to see where your income falls. No, you have to divide your income into slabs, into parts. And on each part, you will apply the tax. Hence, your total tax would be the sum of all the slabs. Would be the sum of all the slabs. Now, let's suppose my income is 18 lakhs. My net taxable income is 18 lakhs. So now on the first three, अब 18 lakhs को हमने कैसे divide करना है? Slabs में. On the first 3 lakhs, no taxes. Then 18 lakh to then 3 lakhs, 1 rupees to 6 lakh. Both 3 lakh pay 5%. So those 3 lakh pay 5%, which is 15,000. Then on the next 3 lakhs, the tax would be at the rate of 10%, which is 30,000. Then from 9 to 12, that is on the next 3 lakhs, the tax would be 15%, that is 45,000. Then on the next 3 lakhs, the tax would be 20%, that is 60,000. And on the next 3 lakhs, which is 15 lakhs to 18 lakhs, tax would be at the rate of 30% on this 3 lakh, which is 90,000. So the total tax would be 15 plus 3 plus 30 plus 45 plus 60 plus 90, which is 2,40,000. This is the tax on the income of 18 lakh. Why? Because 18 lakh is divided into slabs. First 3 lakh nil, next 3 lakh 5, next 3 lakh 10, next 3 lakh 15. Next 3 lakh 20 and next 3 lakh 30%. And next amount above 15 lakhs always 30%. Now, whenever you compute tax, it is always by default, always be it on default scheme or any scheme. Whenever the taxes are computed, it is increased by cess. Cess is an additional small amount, like a small tip, which you are paying for, in this case, for health and education. मतलब ये जो सेस है, this is specifically for health and education, like a small tip. So tax का 4% would be added and then there would be a final tax liability. अभी यहाँ पे जिनको surcharge पता है, please hold your horses, okay? So the final tax liability would be the tax amount plus the cess amount, which is 4% of tax. So the total tax liability would be, guys, the tax plus the cess amount. Now, how agar tax say nikale, obviously then only the cess would be correct and obviously then would be the answer be correct. But if the tax computation is wrong, then no matter what you do, cess and final tax liability would be wrong. And obviously the income computation is wrong, then the tax would always be wrong. Okay. So how you compute tax as per the new scheme? The new schemes are divided into 3 lakh slabs each. And for every 3 lakhs, the tax is increased by 5%. And the last one is directly 30%. So first 3 lakhs pe tax is nil. On the next 3 lakhs, that is 3 lakh to 6 lakh, tax is 5%. 6 lakhs to 9 lakh, the tax is 10%. 9 lakh to 12 lakh, the tax is 15%. 12 lakh to 15 lakh, the tax is 20%. And 15 lakh above, the tax is 30%. Now, let's take another example. Abhi we are going as per the new scheme. The tax rates, आपको दो slab rates अब याद करने हैं. One is the slab rates which are as per new scheme. One is the slab rates which are applicable as per the old scheme. You have to remember both. Which slab you have to choose, we will tell you. Now next, suppose your income is 13 lakhs. तब क्या करोगे? What will you do then? Simple. On the first 3 lakhs, tax 0. Next 3 lakhs, tax at 5%. Next 3 lakhs, tax at 10%. Next 3 lakhs, tax at 15%. But a 12 lakh to 15 lakh ka to scope hai nahi. It's only from 12 to 13 lakhs. So the next, on the remaining 1 lakh, the tax would be at 20%, 20,000. And obviously 30% slab rate is not applicable here. Still, you have to divide your incomes in slabs, and if your income is falling under or less than the highest slab, then you have to compute the tax as per that slab. Simple. The 15 plus 30 plus 45 plus 20, my total tax comes to 1,10,000 plus cess, which is 4,400. Final tax liability is 1,14,400. Is it clear? Let's take another example. Now let's suppose the total income is only 8,50,000. Total income is 8,50,000. So on the first 3 lakhs, no tax. Next 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs, 5%. 6 lakhs to 9 lakh में होता है, but this is now ending on 8.5 lakh only. So 10%. आगे का कुछ लेने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. And this is what we did. On the first 3 lakhs is nil tax. Next 3 lakh 5%. And next, which is on the remaining 250, 10%. Total tax comes to 40,000 plus 4% cess. Total tax liability which says come to 41,600. No one would tell you that compute the tax as with cess. When they say tax, they mean proper tax, which is this amount. Never stop your answer on this amount. Okay. So now is it clear how to compute the tax as per the new schemes? Yes or no? सरचार्ज गाइस मैंने वर्ड ही यूज नहीं किया. प्लीज स्टिक टू व्हाट इज बीइंग टॉट. अदरवाइज पता है क्या होगा, टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन other people will get confused. Okay. स्लैब नहीं, स्लैब, SLAB. डायरेक्टली 18 लाख का 30% नहीं करना है गाइस. डिवाइड योर इनकम ऑन स्लैब्स. धीरे धीरे आई विल टेल यू व्हाट इज ऑप्ट आउट एंड ऑप्ट इन. डोंट वरी. Mohammed Sahil, your question would also be answered. They will Savna, you have to make a choice whether you have to follow the new scheme or the old scheme. Cess is compulsory and it would be applicable every year. Hoti Jagapati, the fee and penalties happen only when you make any default. Yes, this is Alika. This applies on real life income also. This is how you have to compute your income tax liability. This 115 BAC ke according, guys, we are doing the slab rates, and this is what the new scheme is. 4% cess is always applicable on tax, whether you calculate as per the new scheme or whether you calculate as per the old scheme. This is 115 BAC, new scheme or default scheme. Write capital में 115 BAC, which is the new scheme and is the default scheme. Default matlab if you will not opt out, you will choose to pay tax as per this. So now quickly tell me, if my income is 22 lakhs, what is the tax? Quickly, if you have understood it, you have just 1 minute. Quickly tell me, what if my income is 22 lakhs, what is the tax on 22 lakhs? If my income is 22 lakhs, what is the tax on 22 lakhs with the new scheme? अभी धोती जगह पते, I will tell you everything. Don't worry. पहले you might know how to calculate tax, but there might be people who do not know how to calculate tax. Mamta, abhi I have not completed. Do not worry. Do not hesitate. First, go step by step. Now, have you understood how to calculate tax? The correct answer is 3,74,400. Those who are telling me 3,60,000, they are right also, but still they are wrong because never give the tax answer without cess. From the first 3 lakhs, guys, 0. Next 3 lakhs, 5%. Next 3 lakh, 10%. Next 3 lakh, 15. Next 3 lakh, 20. And on the amount of income above 15 lakh, which is the 7 lakh, उसपे 30%. Total comes to 360. 360 plus cess of 4%. Total comes to 37. 3 lakh 74,400. Gunjan, your answer, I hope, is now matched. Ajay, yours too. Manikandan, I hope your answer is now matched. Aparna, yours. Others, very good to give the correct answer, but do not stop it at 360. Okay, MCQ आएगा, 360 टिक कराओगे, where the answer would have been 374 400. Abhi, I have just told you how to compute tax. I have not finished 115 BAC. Priyanka, what is the query? I can see your answer. What is your query? Okay. So now you see that this is a very attractive scheme because the old scheme has two, three slabs only, 5, 10, and 30, 5, 20, and 30. And here you have 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, and 30%. The taxes are very attractive. But there are some points in relation to 115 BAC, which at this stage you should understand. 115 BAC, which is the new scheme. First of all, it is a part of the Income Tax Act. It's a section which is now a default scheme. Now, the tax rates are attractive. That is, versus the old scheme, the tax rates are definitely attractive. If you take 18 lakhs here, you will have a very less tax liability as compared to take 18 lakhs on the old scheme. But that comparison is wrong. Why? Because where 115 BAC gives you certain tax slab benefit, it takes away some benefits. It takes away some benefits, which is the benefit of deductions, which is very common. There are some benefits of losses which you are allowed to set off under section under the section of house property. अब वो क्या क्या है guys, वो अभी आज की डेट में नहीं clear होगा what are all these benefits are, because when you will study these benefits only then it would be clear. I cannot tell you what these benefits in real means because उसके लिए first you have to understand head of income. Rather 115 BAC is one such section which you should do again once you have studied heads of income. Okay, so losses under some particular sections of house property which you are allowed to claim, some particular deductions which you are allowed to claim under business income, some particular exemptions which are allowed to claim under salary. ये सब कुछ particular things are not allowed. The result of these things, which you can see on the screen, is that it lowers down your taxable income. It lowers down your taxable income. But if you are following 115 BAC, if you are following 115 BAC, you would not be given the benefits of these. So these benefits will not be allowed. What are these benefits? There are some restrictive benefits which are disallowed or which are not allowed. That means your income, your starting point of income would be same under 115 BAC and old scheme, but the gross total income might be same, as in salary would be taxable here also, but salary would be taxable here also. But the taxable salary would differ. That means the taxable salary here might be higher as compared to the taxable salary here. Why so, ma'am? Because The taxable salary as per the old scheme will have certain benefits, which is exemptions. But the taxable salary as per the new scheme might not have that benefit. So the comparison can only be done once the tax liability is computed between 115 BAC and the old scheme. You cannot say कि दोनों में income same होगा. The income under 115 BAC would be different from the income computed as per the old scheme. Why? Because the methods of computation may some benefits are not allowed as per the new scheme. Whatever you would be studying going forward is actually as per the old scheme, but the computation, some benefits are not given to you. It's like income tax authority has given you one benefit, ki lo beta, give tax at a attractive rate, which is as per the slab rates, give tax as per some beneficial slab rates. But we will not give you these benefits. If you want beneficial slab rate, give us those benefits. If you want beneficial slab rates, give up these benefits. अब इन benefits को give up करने से what will happen? It might happen that your income might increase, your taxable income might increase. अब वो taxable income increase हो गया, so the taxable income here would be higher comparatively because these benefits are not given versus the taxable income which is there under the old scheme. But since the tax rates are attractive here, it might happen that 115 BAC is a better option, or it might happen that 115 BAC may not be a better option. Why so? Because some benefits are taken from you. It's just like कि दोनों की salary, एक की salary 45 lakhs है and यहाँ पे salary maybe it comes to 50 lakhs. Then you have to see, and why so? Why there would be a difference? यहाँ पे taxable salary of same person might be 45 lakhs. The taxable salary as per 115 BAC might be 50 lakhs. Then you have to compute the tax and then you have to see which is beneficial. The comparison would never be on the income. The comparison would be on tax. But tax is ultimately on income and income is ultimately computed. But some benefits are taken away from you to compute the income. Some benefits are taken away from you. So again, I will say 115 BAC is an attractive scheme. Why? Because it has many attractive slab rates. Okay? Many attractive slab rates, but it takes away certain benefits. So you will say why new scheme was introduced? So new scheme was introduced to simplify the taxes. People who do not understand tax as much, people who do not want to go into each details of each provisions, for them new scheme was there. They do not want to make any deductions for the benefit of taxation. So for them new scheme was there so that they can simplify the tax. But many people cannot afford to give certain benefits because maybe by taking those benefits, the income might come low. And even if the tax rates are comparatively higher, but because of the income which is taxable is low, old scheme may attract people. So it is always a fight which you have to make. So whenever someone asks you to compare the new scheme and old scheme, आप same income पे tax नहीं निकालोगे. Because for the old scheme, the income would be different. For the new scheme, the income would be different. For the old scheme, the income would be different, and for the new scheme, the income would be different. Why so? Because in the old scheme, some benefits are given. In the new scheme, that benefits are taken. इतना समझ आया? Simple. Old scheme में income different होगा, new scheme में income different होगा. Old scheme में income would be different. Why? Because some benefits are given here. New scheme में income would be maybe higher because some benefits are not given. But new scheme में tax rates are better. At this stage, itna information is more than enough. Okay? यहाँ तक समझ आया? अभी इतना समझ आया जितना समझाया कि why old and what is new. Amit, exam में you have to make a choice which scheme you have to go on. BAC is not any meaning, Ashwani. 115 BAC means section. It's a section name, 115 BAC. 115 BAC is applicable for all individuals, all HUF, all AOP, all BOI, irrespective they are resident or non-resident. Age does not matter. I'll share the list. It's in your book material also. What is allowed as per the new scheme, as in what benefits are given in the new scheme and what benefits are not given in the new schemes. But if you do not understand these respective sections, it would not be a choice. Another thing which you have to remember at this stage is कि मैम old scheme में जाना है या new scheme में जाना है. How we have to make a choice? You have to make a choice basis every case. What is the total income? What are the deductions available? What are the benefits given here? What are the benefits taken here? Then you have to compute the tax and then only you can make an informed decision. But the question comes, ma'am, can it happen that in one previous year, same previous year 22-23, we choose new scheme? Can in the previous year 23-24, we can choose old scheme? Yes, you can choose old scheme. Then, ma'am, again in the previous year, 24-25, can we choose new scheme? Yes, you can choose new scheme. Then, ma'am, again we can change it. Yes, you can change it. So you can opt out from the new scheme and opt in again anytime. So opt out and opt in again anytime. Opt out and choose old scheme, opt in and choose new scheme again. You can do it anytime you want. Okay, it's not that you have to make a informed decision for the coming years. No, you can opt in, opt out basis your income. But guys, 1 year, one scheme. ऐसा नहीं है that you will say कि मैम April to September के income पे I will apply new scheme and then September onwards की income पे I will apply old scheme. No, since the income is computed for the entire year, the scheme is applicable for the entire year. Any number of times you can opt out and opt in. But if you are a person who has business income or a profession income, if you are a person who has business income or a professional income, then in that case, my friends, you are allowed to go out of the scheme only once, then you cannot enter back. That means if you opt for new scheme, इसमें भी न्यू स्कीम लिया, ऑप्ट आउट किया, अब तो डिफॉल्ट न्यू स्कीम के अकॉर्डिंग टैक्स पड़ा, ठीक है, इसमें भी न्यू स्कीम लिया. अब प्रीवियस ईयर 24-25 में you wish to opt for old scheme, you can do so. Yes, this is done. But now onwards, once you go out from the new scheme and you have business income, you cannot come back again. So irrespective you want to go for the new scheme again in the previous year 25-26, that is not possible. You have to opt for old scheme only. So what did I say? If you have income other than business income or profession income, 1 year you choose new, 1 year you choose old, 1 year you choose again new, then again old, does not matter. You can make that choices of new, old every year. But if you have business and profession income, if you are an assessee who has business or profession income, then once he choose to go from new to old, then he has to stick to old forever until and unless he closes his business. Because once he closes his business and he does not have a business income, then again he comes under orange wala category. Then since he has no business income, then he can go on, off anytime. But since till the time he has business income, either he choose new all the time, or from new, if he has moved to old, he can do it once, but then cannot come back. There is no wapis. There is no coming back. Once you go from new to old on having business income, you cannot come back. You can only come back once there is no business income. Got it? So this is a very critical point which is there on page number 11.5 part 3 also. Very critical. एक बारी समझो, ये समझ आया, then we'll move ahead. And we will move ahead and understand old scheme rates, and then we'll make a comparison. If I want to quickly sum up new scheme and old scheme, there are two types of taxation schemes and computation and taxation scheme for individuals HUF, AOP, BOI. One is 115 BAC, which is by default, and one is the old scheme, which was going on. Old scheme में भी tax rates क्या है, we have to see. But whether to go for new and whether to go for old cannot be just made on comparison of the income and then the comparison of taxes. First, you have to compute income as per the new scheme. You have to compute income as per the old scheme, because new scheme may income would be different. Why? Some benefits are not given. Benefits like which will reduce your income are not given, but in old scheme those benefits are given. So it might happen दोनों का salary 10 lakhs आ रहा है, but taxable salary might come in old scheme as 7 lakhs. So then you have to compute taxes as per the 9 lakhs on the new scheme and as per the 7 lakhs as per the old scheme and then compare. So this has to be typically seen case by case. Then whether to choose new or whether to choose old, 1 year, one scheme would be applicable. You can shift out from new to old to new every year if you want. But if you have a business income, then you have to choose. Then by default, once the new scheme is applicable to you, and then you choose to go to old scheme, you cannot come back to the new scheme until unless you have business income. Is it clear? Now let's move. Sorry for my handwriting, guys. Business income or business loss, you cannot move. Business income or business loss, you cannot move. Rates पे I'm coming. Two companies में काम कर रहे does not matter. Total income for the year. No Sugun, no difference for senior citizens or resident in the new scheme. This scheme is applicable for individual HUF, AOP and BOIs. ऑप्ट इन मतलब उसको चूज करना, ऑप्ट आउट मतलब उससे बाहर जाना. भी जो टैक्स रेट्स गुंजन आई एम टीचिंग यू दोज आर एप्लीकेबल. Old. So you're saying Shivam SSC was giving taxes as per old. Now he moved to new. Yes, he can pay taxes as per new. Now then again, if he make a choice to go from new to old, then he cannot come back. Okay. Old schemes के लिए it is not a section. Old schemes का tax rate comes through Finance Act, which I just told. Ritu, I will not, sorry, but I will not answer for TDS because it will confuse everyone else. Profession income is business income. Salaried matlab when you're working somewhere. Profession means when you're doing your own particular practice. If a chartered accountant works as an employee, it is salary income. AMT abhi avoid karo guys. If a chartered accountant is working as an employee, that is salary income. If it's chartered accountant works as his own practice, then it is a professional income. Ritu, okay, all the answers are done. Now let's make a comparison of what is the old scheme. And then we will compare it also. We'll compare the taxes also, don't worry. Now, old scheme ka guys, the tax rates applicable to old scheme, the tax rates applicable to old schemes are on the screen. So let's understand what are the tax rates applicable to the old scheme. 0 to 2.5 lakhs. This is for individuals, HUF, AOP, and BOI. Whether resident or non-resident. 0 to 2.5 lakhs. Difference should be 2.5. Sorry. 1 second. Results. Great. So 0 to 2.5 lakhs, as in 0 to 2 lakh 50,000, there is no tax versus 0 to 3 lakhs. Then 2 lakh 50,000 to 5 lakhs, it is 5%. Then 5 lakh to 10 lakhs, it is 20%. There is no 10% here. And then 10 lakh above, it is 30%. So now if you're opting for the old scheme, the taxes are as such. That is, now the income would be divided into slabs of 2 lakh 50. On the first 250, nil. On the next 250, 5%. Then this is such a bad handwriting, extremely bad. On the next 250, 20%, and above 30%. Okay. So the first 2,50,000, 0. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. And 10 lakh above, 30. Okay. Now, so suppose my income is, let's take an example, my income is 13 lakh. So on the first 2 lakh 50, no tax. On the next 2 lakh 55%, that is 12,500. Then on the next 5 lakh 20%, and 10 lakh above 30%. So 3 lakh pay 30%, 90,000. Sum of this comes to 2 lakh 2,500 plus cess. Cess is applicable here also 4%. So the total lakhs comes to 2 lakh 10,600. Is it clear? Now you will say कि यहाँ पे carefully listen. As per the old scheme, guys, on 13 lakhs income, tax is coming to 2 lakh 10,600. Now, as per the new scheme, on 13 lakhs income, tax comes to 1 lakh 14,400. So old में 2 lakh 10,600, new में 1 lakh 14,400. But this comparison is wrong because 30 lakh income दोनों में कभी नहीं होगा. Maybe on some cases it might happen if you don't have some deductions with you. Then only you can make a comparison. Yes, because of 30 lakhs, यहाँ पे tax is probably 1 lakh, almost 1 lakh less than the old scheme. But it might not be necessary that old scheme में भी total income 13 lakhs हो, new scheme में भी total income 13 lakhs हो. You have to compare कि income कितना आ रहा है, and that computation matters a lot. Then only the tax, the comparison would be done correctly. Okay, now take example that your income is 8,50,000. Then how would you compute taxes as per the old scheme? 0 to 2,50,000, no tax. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 8 lakh 50, that is on the next 3 lakh 50, 20%. Here above 10 lakh does not come into picture because the income is only up to 8 lakh 50,000. So the total tax comes to 82,500 plus cess 85,800. Now quickly, all the good children, quickly tell me what is the total tax as per the old scheme if the income is 22 lakhs. The total tax as per the old scheme if the income is 22 lakhs. I'll also do, you'll also do. यहाँ पे slabs are of 2,50,000 guys. Just remember that. दोनों slab rates याद करना is mandatory. No choice. So if the income is 22 lakhs, the total tax comes to 472,500. How? First 2,50,000 pinil, 2,50,000 to 5 lakh 5%, 5 lakh to 10 lakh 20%, 10 lakh above, which is on the remaining 12 lakh 30%. The total tax comes to 4,72,500 plus cess of 4%. So total tax comes to 49,1400. 4,91,400 versus 22 लाख पे हमने टैक्स निकाला था in the new scheme as 3,74,400. So you see almost 1 lakh का difference comes under tax. 491,400 सबका आ गया? Okay. Very good. Very good. Each one of you have given the correct answer. Super. Very good. Now the question comes, which scheme to choose, new scheme or old scheme? So let me give you a case scenario. A person has a salary income of 15 lakhs. यहाँ पे भी 15 है. And here also 15 lakhs. Okay. But he has certain deductions under section 80C and 80D. Which are not available here. That is, वो deductions 115 BAC में नहीं मिलेंगी, but those deductions are available under the new old scheme. Now the question comes, what scheme a person should follow, whether he should follow the new scheme or whether he should follow the old scheme. So now you have to calculate the taxes as per the new scheme and as per the old scheme. यहाँ पे न्यू स्कीम में टोटल इनकम वुड बी 15 lakhs एंड ओल्ड स्कीम में टोटल इनकम वुड बी 13 lakhs. So quickly tell what क्योंकि this 2 lakhs का benefit is not as per the new scheme. Which benefits are taken away and assume this is that benefit. Tell me which scheme you would choose and why. नहीं अलका वो 5 lakhs हो जाएगा ना because the slab rate is 5 lakh to 10 lakh. No, definitely choose old scheme नहीं. Till the time you will not compare the taxes उसके बिना नहीं. So those who are saying कि 13 lakh income है, so that is less. No, you have to compare the taxes. I think first one to give correct answer is Shivam Gautam. Very good, Shivam. Because new scheme में taxes with cess are coming to, even if new scheme में income is higher, which is 15 lakhs, but 15 lakhs पे taxes are coming to 1,56,000 with cess. First 3 lakhs 5%, first 3 lakhs nil, next 3 lakh 5, next 3 lakh 10, next 3 lakh 15, and next 3 lakh 20, and above 15 तो है ही नहीं तो nothing. Here on the first 2,50,000 nil, next 2,50,000 5%, next 5 lakh 20%, and next 3 lakhs which is above 10 lakh 30%. The tax comes to 2 lakh 10,600. So you are almost saving approximately 50-60,000 of lakhs if you go for the new scheme, even if the income is higher. Even if the income is higher. So it is not mandatory that higher income means higher tax. Okay? Very good, Divya. Very good, Ritika. अभी सी अब step wise चलेंगे ना. मैं सारा new scheme, most of you must have studied income tax and they know what is section 10, what is section 35 AD, what is ATC to ATU. But most of us do not know about it. So we will go informally and step by step and make a promise that we will come back to 115 BSc once we study the entire heads of income and deductions. Madhav, your answer is wrong. Mohammad Suhail, I hope now you know. Very good part. Shreyas, I have written deductions from ATC to ATU. Very good, Neelam. Prince, old scheme का tax आ गया सही? I think it was a typing error, right? Very good, Dia. So a question of choosing the scheme can come and it can be as easy as this also. So please, rates याद करना, slab याद करना is extremely critical. See, if in one go, I would tell you how to compute tax, how to compute surcharge, how to compute cess, how to compute rebate, you will get confused. We will take step by step. We will do questions step by step. But please be very honest in doing the questions. ठीक है? So individuals HUF, AOP, BOI के लिए tax rates are either as per the new scheme for every 3 lakh 5% and 15 lakhs above 30%, or as per the old scheme 2 lakh 50,000 nil, 2 lakh 50,000 above 5%, then next 5 lakhs 20%, and then 10 lakh above 30%. So guys, the income till which there is no tax, the initial income till which there is no tax is called basic exemption limit or maximum amount not chargeable to tax. So basic exemption limit under the new scheme is 3 lakhs versus the basic exemption limit under the old scheme, which is 2 lakh 50,000. Which is 2 lakh 50,000. So old scheme, if someone asks what is the basic exemption limit in old scheme, 2 lakh 50,000. What is the basic exemption limit in new scheme? It is 3 lakhs. Okay. Now, in the old scheme, there is another twist. There is another twist. What is the twist? So in the old scheme, since it's an age-old concept going on, there is a better slab for resident senior citizen, for resident senior citizen. So who is a resident senior citizen, guys? This is only in old scheme. Please listen carefully. Who is a resident senior citizen? Resident senior citizen is a person who is a resident, obviously, but is also senior. But who is a senior citizen? A person who in the previous year is of the age of 60 years or more. Previous year में जिसका age 60 or more है, that person is a senior citizen, but he has to be a resident senior citizen to have a better attractive slab benefits. I'll tell you 60 or more. अब वो 60 previous year में चाहे 5th March को turn हुआ हो, 31st March को turn हुआ हो, he would be considered as a senior citizen for the entire previous year. And once he is considered as a senior citizen for the entire previous year, he would be given a better benefit. I will tell you that. So अगर कोई भी 1st April 23 से 31st March 23 तक, we are writing 23 तक, turns 60 on even any single date, he would be considered a senior citizen for the entire year. For the entire year. Also, the government has clarified through a circular, someone who is turning 60 on 1st April 24 would be considered to have turned 60 on in the previous year 23-24 itself. Please listen carefully. This is a new book. Someone who has turned 60 on 1st April 24 would be considered to have turned 60 on in the previous year 23-24 itself. Why so? वो कहते हैं कि 1 year gets completed a day before. So 31st हम मानेंगे कि 31st March जब खत्म हुआ, he has completed the 60 years of age, or she has completed the 60 years of age. So hence someone who is falling 60, because जिस दिन 60 turn करोगे, only that year is critical. उसके बाद तो there is no problem, right? So when you're turning 60, that year is critical. So either you turn 60 in the previous itself, or if you're turning 60 on the 1st April, this is not for 2nd April, 3rd April, this is only for 1st April. If you're turning 60 on 1st April of the next financial year, it would be assumed that you have turned 60 in this previous year itself. The logic is कि वो 31st March को 60 complete माना जाएगा. Like एक दिन पहले a year is said to be completed. So that's why we would say that it's turned in the period itself. First is this clarification. Now coming to the attractive rate, which is here. So the rate which is applicable to Senior citizens, or you say resident senior citizens, is instead of 0 to 2 lakh 50, for them, it is 0 to 3 lakhs. It is 0 to 3 lakhs nil tax. 3 lakhs and 1 above, it is, sorry, 5%. Then 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%, and 10 lakh above, 30%. For a resident senior citizen, the slab rates are like this. So here, before 10 lakh, यहाँ पे 1,10,000 tax बनता है, and यहाँ पे before 10, up to 10 lakh, 1,12,500 बनता है. So because of a resident senior citizen, you can say that almost 2,500 का, sorry, 12,500, हाँ, 2,500 का benefit मिल गया once you turn resident senior citizen in slab rates. Okay. So here now the basic exemption limit for a resident senior citizen would be said to be 3 lakh, would be said to be 3 lakh. Is it clear? So what about resident super senior citizen? अब एक और concept है which is called resident super senior citizen. Super senior मतलब more than a very senior, not just senior, a super senior citizen. Super senior citizen, guys, sorry, yeah. Super senior citizen is a person who has turned 80 or more in the previous year, who has turned 80 or more in the previous year. He would be considered to be a super senior citizen for the entire previous year. Date of assessment year में वो 60 turn कर रहा है, that does not matter. When he turns 60 in the previous year, that matters. Because the rates are on the income which is earned in the previous year, correct? So the age which matters is of the previous year. The age which matters is of the previous year. So super senior citizen is a concept which is applicable for a person who is a resident and is of the age of 80 and above. 80 and above during the previous year. Here also the same thing happens, that if he's turning 80 from 1st April 23 to 31st March 24, किसी भी डेट पे he's turning 80, the person would be considered to be an 80-year-old and he would be considered to be a super senior citizen for the entire previous year 23-24. And similarly, if he's turning 80 on 1st April 24, he would be considered as 80 for the previous year 23-24. Okay. Now, what is the benefit here? The benefit to a resident senior citizen is that up to 5 lakh, there is no tax liability. Next slab is immediately from 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%, and 10 lakh above 30%. So resident super senior citizen के लिए 5% slab है ही नहीं. Up to 5 lakh, no tax liability. I'll make it like this. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%, and 10 lakh above 30%. So if a resident senior citizen has an income of, say, 32 lakhs, so he has to pay a tax of 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%, 10 lakh above, which is the extra 22 lakhs, 30%. So the total tax is 7 lakh 60,000. Got it? So resident senior citizen is a person who is of the age of 60 or more in the previous year. Resident super senior citizen is a person who is of age of 80 and above in the previous year. The slab rates are varied for senior citizen and super senior citizen. When we talk about senior citizen, the basic exemption limit is, what happened? Sorry. The basic exemption limit is 3 lakhs. And for a resident super senior citizen, the basic exemption limit is 5 lakhs. Senior citizen, it is 0 to 3 nil, 3 to 5, 5%, 5 to 10, 20, and 10 above 30. For resident super senior citizen, there is no 5% slab, 0 to 5 nil, 5 to 10, 20, and 10 above 30%. Remember, this is only a concept applicable in old scheme. There is no residency or senior citizen concept in new scheme. Okay. So today we learned about the previous year assessment year concept. We learned about the cases in which the income of the previous year is assessed in the previous year itself. We understood on a large scale what computation of incomes look like. Then we understood about the tax rates applicable to individuals, HF, AOP, BY in both the new scheme and the old scheme. And old scheme may we made a comparison also which scheme to go for. It depends upon the income computation and obviously the tax computation. And also we saw what are the slab rates applicable in resident senior citizen and resident super senior citizen. In the next class, we will start with the concept of tax rates applicable to companies, firms, local authorities, and artificial juridical person. But honestly, at age could come and it would be based on the income of individual specifically. So make sure that your slab rates knowledge and the knowledge of 115 BAC is crystal clear. Okay, because computation the question would be from this. Then we'll do surcharge, we'll do marginal relief, and we'll do agricultural income. Okay, so next class can be a bit longer. Please be prepared accordingly. Let's meet on Thursday. Before that, let's take some critical questions or your place. Okay. What is written, Bhavika? That are the rate. Previous year and financial year, layman language में you can say the same, but Madhav, what notes यहाँ पे slab ये tax calculations है, ये तो you can take it from me as an Excel sheet. Otherwise, there is no specific notes. Everything is on the study material. Super senior citizen means 80 and above, not above 80. 80 also would be a super senior citizen. Non-resident can also choose the scheme. It definitely he can choose whether he want to go for 115 BAC or whether he wants to go for a old scheme. But old scheme में he can never be of a senior citizen because senior citizen वाला benefit लेने के लिए he has to be a resident. देवेंद्र फॉर्म का यहाँ पे there is no concept. I'm sorry. Sarvana, I think the better clarity can be given by BOS on it. Sorry, I'm not able to give a clarity on this. Devendra, new scheme में there is no different rate for senior citizens. Surcharge, we will do it in the next class. It's not necessary that every budget will bring change, but yes, it brings changes. It might see for the past 3-4 years, the old scheme rates are same because they introduced new scheme, so they have not changed the rates of old scheme. Basic exemption limit not changes every year. You have to see whether the tax rates which you are applicable to are the same or not. Yes, Alka, you may leave. Thank you so much. Kavita, residential status you will see in the next week. Ritu, that's what I said now. Once you withdraw from the new scheme and you go to old scheme, you cannot go back to new scheme again. Okay? Thank you so much, Divya. Thank you so much, everyone. Rebate, अरे सब कराऊंगी बाबा पक्का. Opt in, opt out का लोकर I told earlier also. Opt in, opt out मतलब scheme से बाहर जाना, scheme के अंदर आना. Opt out मतलब go out of the scheme. Opt in मतलब go come to the scheme back. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next class. Take care.